Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our session on making operational the EU and local functions of an EDIH. My name is Maite Carracedo. For those of you who don't know me yet, because I was yesterday participating in another session, I'm working at Funding Box, which is a European platform that is supporting entrepreneurs with access to funding and access to tech communities. We are very active in digital transformation initiatives and in the DIH policy and working with them during the last years. We are also partners of EDIH, which is the project that is hosting this event together with the Commission and Lux Innovation. So today I'm here with the finalists of the EDIH Prize. We are very proud of having them here, and we will have the possibility to listen to their experience. But before introducing them, I would like to start sharing with you some house rules for the session. So I'm sharing my screen right now. And you should be familiar with this at this stage, right? So please, for the technical questions, use the chat. For questions to the speakers, use the Q&A. Someone from the team will identify which are the ones that are most voted, and we will try to answer all of them at the end of our session. And of course, all the presentations that we are sharing here today will be available for you after the session. And now let's set in the scene, right? What is the main concept that we are going to discuss here today? And I think at this stage, after several sessions discussing about the EDIH, we all have clear, right, that an European DIH should be a pivotal entity working for the digital transformation of the SMEs and the public entities, using or making this through 4 blocks of services: the test before invest, support to find investments, skill and trainings, and innovation and ecosystem, but always taking into account 2 functions. One of them is the local function, so capacity building at local level with those companies, but also the European function. And both of them are equally important. And this that it looks simple now, and for those of us who were working on the concept for years now, right? It seems easy. But talking to the ecosystem, we are hearing that, this is creating some headaches to the people. Because to solve this tension between the local and the European part is not always easy. I would like to elaborate on this and to give you some advices, but maybe, you will find also some information, even in the draft of the Digital Euro program, some recommendations there from the Commission on the regional added value, the European added value. At the DNet community, we were sharing information and specific examples of services that you can put to enhance, especially this European collaboration, and also in the sessions of the event. But I would like to use this tension as a framework for our panelists today, because listening to the finalists of the DNet Prize, I think we will also get some inspiration, right, on how they were able to solve this. Just before giving the floor to them, I also wanted to identify some examples, right, of those challenges that the community is facing here on the European function and also on the local function. Looking at the European function and talking to the candidates to EDIH, we feel that, that is maybe too early, and some of them, they don't feel mature enough to cover the European function on the 4 areas, right? If we, for instance, look at what is happening with the precursor network, this network that at DNet we were trying to set up, consulting a group of hubs from the European ecosystem, more than 60. We were talking to them during the last months, start, reflecting on which type of topics you would like to work with in the European level. If we set up this pan-European network, how do you want to collaborate? And if you look at the results, you can see that everything is around ecosystem, collaboration, networking. if we reflect on the 4 services, it's like we are mostly covering the ecosystem part, right? And this is fine. This is normally. For you to start collaborating with other hubs in other countries, first you need to meet them. You need to understand what they are offering, right? And based on that, you can leverage and you can start contacting and working together on the other 3 areas. But what about the other parts, especially those ones that are transversal? What about skills, right? I'm not even expecting that individual EDIHs should be capable, of joining and creating a common platform on a skill, right? That is maybe too much at this stage. But why do not collaborate in offering something together, right? Because the goal is the same. We want to train our workers, right? We want to offer them capabilities on digital transformation. So maybe sometimes I'm missing more collaboration on this part. Or maybe also in connecting on data science and try to exploit those data. Also, as a result of our conversations with the ecosystem, it seems that importing and exporting services is raising some challenges to them. When we talk about exporting, to decide on what we want to specialize, what we want to export, it's difficult to focus, right? To just choose one thing. And this is something they are struggling with. And also the same with the type of services that we can export. For importing, it's difficult still at this stage to identify what is the map of capabilities in Europe and where I can import the services or the knowledge and the technology that I'm missing. Still with the tools that we have available, they are struggling, right, to find the right partner. And once they find maybe a set of them, how to choose the best one. So these things, together with finding the balance between EU and local collaboration or defined business models, it is true that we expect that the Digital Transformation Accelerator is going to help with. But in the meantime, we need to write our proposal, right? We are candidates to European DIH, so we need to solve some of them. And this is why I would like to invite also my speakers. I think I'm not going to elaborate on the local challenges because of the time. I will elaborate this on the panel later on the challenges also at local level. And I'm going to start giving the floor to my speakers. As I was mentioning before, they are all of them the finalists of the DNet Prize. So we are very honored today to have them on board because they are supposed to be a very good example and very inspiration example of a DIH that is working well and really have all the options to become an European DIH. So I will start by giving the floor to Cristina Ollón, who is the Director of Technology and Innovation and Sustainability at the Basque DIH. So, Cristina, the floor is yours. I don't know if we can see their faces or I should keep continuing sharing the screen. Okay, I will share my screen and Cristina, can you?
Hello.
Hello, Cristina. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maite. Thank you for setting the scene and the introduction. And well, good morning, everybody. My name, as you said, is Cristina Ollón. I'm Director of Technology, Innovation and Sustainability at ESPRI, the Basque Business Development Agency that is coordinating the Basque Digital Innovation Hub. And well, we are really, at this moment, we are really very happy because we are one of the 2 winners of the Champions Challenge. So we are a bit nervous about the prize ceremony and everything, but well, I just want again to thank the net and also to thank the other colleagues today in the session with us, the 4 finalists, and I think it's a pleasure for all of us to be here in this situation. And just a very brief introduction of our hub. We are an initiative that, as I said, is coordinated by the regional government. We work at ESPRI on behalf of the Ministry of Economic Development, Sustainability and Environment, and this is one of our strategic initiatives in the smart specialization strategy in the Basque Country. We started 4 years ago creating a community, I would say, an ecosystem first, of technology agents. That is, well, as you can see in the slide, we are right now 21 members that are research centers, R&D institutes from companies, university departments, and SPRI as the coordinator. And we are working right now in these technology areas. We have a very technology-focused approach. We started with 3 of these nodes, as we call them, and now the community is growing, and we are working in digital technologies, transversal digital technologies like flexible and collaborative robotics, advanced materials, cybersecurity, data-driven solutions, and also more areas related with the strategic areas in our smart specialization strategies, such as advanced manufacturing with the node of smart and connected machines, energy with the node in digital electrical networks, and health with the node of medical devices and e-health. So if you go to the next slide, I will focus now because I know that I could talk forever, so I have to focus on what Maite asked me to explain. As you can imagine, after 4 years of working together, we have many experiences to share, but Maite asked me to address the service of access to finance. And at this respect, I would like to share with you our experience this last year, a terrible year for all of us. We put in practice a new mechanism for funding the access of SMEs to the Basque Digital Innovation Hub. It was an idea to activate the demand because it has not been easy for us during the previous years to have real customers of our nodes for our hub, and from the Basque Business Development Agency, we decided in 2020 to put in to make a new call. This case to support the first access to the experimentation and testing of the infrastructure at our hub. We didn't have a big budget for this initiative, but we managed to get €500,000 for giving this kind of brochures to SMEs, to Basque industrial manufacturing companies, in order to access the members of our EDIH and have their support with an action plan to incorporate digital and sustainable technologies, and or to make a proof of concept if possible. Due to the health crisis, we couldn't make public this program until September this year, and we had to execute the budget during 2020 because of administrative problems in the regional administration. So I really was afraid of not having success and couldn't spend the €500,000 we have dedicated from our budget to this idea. We thought at the beginning that maybe, we had some barriers, the budget was not too high. The brochures were of these grants of between €12,000 or €20,000 are not a big amount of money to make these companies and the research agents work together. And also we just have 2 months to make the projects, because, as I said, we published the call in September and we finalized the evaluation in October, and they just have half of October and November, half December to develop the projects. And the response was incredible. We had a big success, I would say. And taking into account the amount of time that we have, for us, it was very important to have these 52 projects coming to our call. And it's really also interesting, the feedback of the research agents that have been working together with these 50 companies. It has been very positive, and they are all of them asking for the continuation of this program in 2021, that we are happy to go with that. We, in the next slide, Maite, please, we can see also that we have tried to, we have used this possibility of this funding scheme also to improve collaboration with other digital innovation hubs in Europe. So we, as all of us, all digital innovation hubs, we are really connected in many ways. We have been connected during these days in different working groups organized by the European Commission. We have been connected through the net, and we have many means of connecting with all of us, conferences like this one, but we really wanted to go one step forward in the collaboration, and we really wanted to have an idea for developing a more deep collaboration, and we offer the possibility to some digital innovation hubs. In principle, the digital innovation hubs that belong to regions where we have previous collaboration schemes, because the Basque government has different memorandums of collaboration with regions in Europe, because we belong to the same networks such as Vanguard Initiative, or because we have offices in the regions, and we know that Basque companies are interested in internationalization activities in these regions. So we have started with this list, the list that you see in the slide, making contact and understanding and getting to know each other in order to open our mechanism for funding this first access, not only to the 21 members of the Basque Digital Innovation Hub, but also to the services provided by the digital innovation hubs that you see now in the slide. I have to say, as you can see, or maybe I don't know if you can see properly the slide, because I cannot see full all the information. At the bottom part of the slide appear the results of this year. So we have 0 projects in these 52 that we have received, with the intention of hiring the services of an international EDIH. Well, this is not a surprise for us. We knew that it was going to be very difficult. We knew that in 2 months' time, and with the not enough marketing, I would say, of this initiative that we were allowed to do because of the health crisis, it was going to be almost a miracle to have one example. But in any case, we wanted to open this door, to open this collaboration, and to make our companies aware that the services that we provide here regionally are very interesting, but we are also an open door to collaborate with other initiatives in Europe, an open door for the internationalization of our research and development activity. And we really are looking forward to keep on working with this DHIs and more to come. And I'm sure that if you ask me in 1 year time, in the call of 2021, we are going to have some experiences with our allies in the international scheme. Thank you very much. And
thank you so much, Christina. I think it was a very good example, and maybe I should mention before in my introduction that my idea with our panelists today is that you should present your European approach, right, and to highlight one best practice in one of the 4 areas. And we decided that Christina had a very good example on the EDIH on how to generate demand through access to funding. And this is because, this is one of the constraints, right? How to generate demand from the ecosystem. And this was about it. Maybe another thing that I found very relevant in your presentation, Christina, is that you were able to solve the funding of an external service provider. And this is something that, many regions are struggling with, right? Even if we want to collaborate with an external EDIH, how we can pay their services. And it seems that you found a way. So this is very good. And maybe some of the EDIH or candidate EDIHs that are listening to us today, can get inspiration from your approach. I also know that, where you were trying to find those collaborators maybe through the catalog or other tools, and finally you decided to start working with the regions you were working on before, right? So maybe it's true, we still need to invest more on developing those tools. So, you did not receive applications for international collaboration yet. And it's again, I think the same, right? We need to raise awareness on the offer that is available in Europe. But thank you very much. We will keep reflecting on your presentation on the panel. So now I would like to invite Freuke Gold. She is coming from FZI, is one of the finalists again. And Freuke, floor is yours for presenting your DIH, your experience at the European level, and one best practice again in one of the 4 areas. I think in your case it's on the ecosystem part. Please go ahead.
Right. Thank you, Maite, for your introduction. And first of all, congratulations to Christina and Balázs for winning the prize. This is really amazing. Nevertheless, it's a great pleasure for me to give you a short overview of our Digital Innovation Hub and its activities, mainly in the ecosystem development. We are located in Karlsruhe, and this is one of the leading areas in information technologies in Europe, and really a city of computer sciences. There are more than 10,000 informatics students studying, for example, at the excellent University Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. We have around 4,400 IT companies in the region, and the value added tax in IT is above 43%. Additionally, we have 10 startup centers, and therefore we were very, very glad to have strong innovation and networking partners and to do further regional development. The technology fields we are focusing on are applied AI, intelligent transportation systems, safety, security, and the law, public and critical infrastructures, as well as emerging topics like quantum computing. As a very strong focus is on application in the region, we have a strong focus on innovation and transfer, and this is what I will go in more detail in the next minutes. Our FZI House of Living Labs was the nucleus for us for cooperation. It is an innovative research environment on more than 2,000 square meters, especially to bring together small and medium-sized companies to do interdisciplinary research and development. So I'm on the slide before, but it's okay. So it's a platform for the exchange and the creation of new ideas and activities and projects together with all our partners. As I mentioned, we have a strong focus on application. So we were working with real life scenarios. And in addition to our 8 living labs we have in this field, we also have a test area for autonomous driving, as well as 2 competence centers of one for AI engineering and the second for IT security. So now I was asked, this is a short overview of the Digital Hub as well. Okay, now the next slide. Thanks a lot. So what is our way to European collaboration? As I mentioned, the starting point for us was the FZI House of Living Labs, and our strategy consists of 3 components. First of all, of course, as we are a research institute, we do research and development projects not only on a regional and national level, but also together with European partners. For example, you see selected European projects in mobility, in robotics, and the Human Brain Project. Second, we started to look for collaboration. This is very important for us for innovation. And so we have today bilateral as well as multilateral collaborations, for example, with France, Spain, Italy, and Israel. And at the moment, we are in contact with the Netherlands and Belgium to foster collaborations at hand. Very important for us is the digital hub applied artificial intelligence. This was for us the first activity with of our partners with national distinction by the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs and Energy. So we bring together our partners to have networking and innovation to support small and medium-sized enterprises, and it's the core of our network activities in the field of artificial intelligence at the moment. It's supported by the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Labor and Housing, Baden-Württemberg. We are partner in AI Regio, and here we try to support the DI's Alliance for AI-driven digital transformation of European manufacturing, small and medium-sized enterprises. So collaboration and alliances are very important. But Maite, as you said before, collaboration is very important, but to come there, you need to build up trust and you have to know the people. So the third part of our strategy is a strong partnership, matchmaking and networking, which is essential for building up collaborations. And for example, as Digital Hub Artificial Intelligence, we organized together with the Hub France AI, the AIXIA, a German-French AI conference that took place latest in December. It was the second time, and we had over 500 participants from 20 countries, and we are very proud of this. And supported by the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Labor and Housing, Baden-Württemberg, we intensify this year our cooperations with France, and we are very looking forward to the events that are coming up in this collaboration. So now I come to the next slide and my last slide to sum up. What do we do to develop our ecosystem, and how do we handle those different partners? Starting from the FZI House of Living Labs, we have first different research projects where we work directly and intensive together with our partners. We attract, second, SMEs to bring them in touch with information and communication technologies and new technologies through a demonstration platform, and there we can do some knowledge and technology transfer. And third, we offer trainings to develop digital and technological skills. After all, we build up an open innovation network to participate, to exchange, and to generate new ideas. On the other side, you can see we strengthen our activities through a joint initiative with the Cyber Forum. This was very important for us. The Cyber Forum is the largest high-tech business network in Europe with more than 1,200 members. And together we established the Digital Innovation Center, DITS, and brought together our competencies to more effectively supporting small and medium-sized enterprises in digital transformation and strengthen our regional development. We build up a regional hub network Baden-Württemberg. We support the AI labs Baden-Württemberg, which are both supported by the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Labor and Housing. And we coordinate the Digital Hub Artificial Intelligence. And so this is the regional and national network is the basis for the next step we want to do now with the partners of the Digital Hub Artificial Intelligence to strengthen our European networking activities. So hopefully the next time I speak here after the EDIH application, we have European network there as well. So in total, our ecosystem development is based on specific projects, support and services for small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as our research partners, on exchange and creation of new ideas through regular meetings, working groups and workshops for different stakeholders. And third, building trust and knowledge and technology transfer through events, matchmaking, delegations, and networking. So thank you for your attention, and feel free to contact me for any questions you have. Yes, thanks.
Thank you so much, Freike. Maybe to highlight from your presentation, right, the relevance of taking part in these European alliances and to connect with ecosystems that already exist. And this is where I would like to encourage all of you in this event to go to the booths where you can find the representatives of some of these European initiatives. It is a very good way for you to start connecting. Also make use of the communities that are already available for you. The DNet community, is a very good way for you to start, and of course, networking through the sessions, and also, I think it's very relevant your open innovation network you are creating here, and maybe to say some words here, because when I talk to the people, sometimes I think ecosystem is mostly towards the customers, right? Outreach capacity and to make, to evangelize about the things that you do. But it's also about what is happening internally among the partners, and how to make two partners collaborate together and to come out with new innovative solutions, right, inside the EDIH. And this is also very, very relevant, the open innovation approach, even among competitors, okay, which is also a challenge, but it's very, very interesting. So thank you very much, Freike. We go now with our third panelist, Daniel Saed. He's coming from e-dih Data Cycle Hub, DIH, and he will tell us also his experience on the European part and presenting the service on Test Before Invest. Daniel, please go ahead.
Okay, Maite, thank you very much, and congratulations again to Christina and Balazs for the prize. I'm here representing EDIH and also as the coordinator of the Data Cycle Hub, EDIH Data Cycle Hub, which is the reference digital innovation hub in Valencia region in Spain, focused on data, artificial intelligence, and everything related to the data cycle. I mean, IoT, cyber physical systems, cloud, HPC. Every technology, each technology that can extract value from data. We have a long track record with more than 200 people working for the digitalization of companies in the region, also the public administration, 350 projects with companies, 150 business cases, and a mature set of services around the data. For example, access to infrastructure, data and platforms. I will talk about this later. Brokerage and innovation scouting, skills, access to funding, and etc. And I'm also, or EDIH is also a member of Indromeda. Indromeda is the Valencia region candidate to EDIH. It was created this year, the last years in August 2020, with a multi-technology approach and a vertical approach in quality of life. I mean, sectors like agri-food, health, tourism, and biotech, which is where in Valencia region we have a critical mass in these sectors. We have defined a set of services and we have homologated the members that can provide those services. And the members are all the research centers, all the universities, all the health institutes, and also the research council in Valencia, and the Confederation of Companies. So this is our approach at regional level. We are collaborating between Andromeda and the Data Cycle Hub and other DIHs in the catalog in the Valencia region. And we also have an approach for the European, next slide, please, for the European collaboration, and we are focused on the presence in different networks based on the already established connections of DIH members. I mean, DIH members are very relevant and they are positioned in different networks. You can see at the right side of the slide all the networks where we are positioned at this moment, and where we are defining federated catalog and interoperable catalog, and this is one challenge for us, how to define this interoperability and integration of services among DIHs. And we are establishing cooperation agreements in order to provide joint services or define new services between more than one DIH, and also make the matchmaking. And also we are exploring what we can export and what we need to import in order to provide a better service to the companies in our region, and specialize our DIH instead of making it very, very broad and not specialized in any technology or any sector. In the next slide, I will present best practice in Test Before Invest service, which is our data innovation space. It's an innovation space composed by three main pillars: infrastructure, computing infrastructures, data, and also algorithms, with, of course, a team of persons that can provide support in all these three pillars. Next slide, please. Okay, you can put the old screen. This is the usual way of providing this service. We, in a first step, we are a data broker for a company, a technological company that wants to make an experiment, for example, related to predict COVID evolution, and then we can bring a hospital, which is in our network. We can bring a hospital who gives data and requirements to this technological company. We, of course, provide access to infrastructure to this company in order to storage the data and also to test the services and the algorithms. We support to the company in defining or designing the model, the machine learning model, and also we help them to create the business model associated to the results of the experiment. This Test Before Invest can be already accessible in different projects like EU Has for Data or REACH, that has cascade funding at the moment open. Also in Andromeda, of course, and the EDIH in Valencia region, and directly in ITI Data Hub. So thank you very much. I can elaborate a bit more in the questions.
Thank you, Danny. What I find very relevant of your approach is the example of a regional EDIH or of maybe a future EDIH, right? You were able to connect with other DIHs in the region and to come out with a bigger proposal and representing a one-stop shop for the region. So I think this is very, very inspirational. And I was glad to see in your presentation that you were also able to identify what you want to export, which normally is very easy or is more clear for the candidate EDIHs, but also what you want to import. And that is where maybe some of them are struggling, because, you know, there are so much competition at a regional level trying to provide all type of services that sometimes, you know, it takes time to reflect. And as I was mentioning yesterday in another slot, right, to be humble enough to say, okay, I really need to import on this. and that's very, very inspiring also. Thank you very much. I'm quite concerned on the timing. Let's go for the next presentation. Balas Barta, which is again one of the winners. Congratulations again, Balas. And yeah, he's representing Panum Business Network, but also the AM Lab EDIH. So please, 3 minutes, Balas, so that we have some time for the questions. Yes?
Sure,
Go ahead.
yes. Okay, thank you. So basically the first chart is just the key data about us. As Maite already said, it's a PBN, the organization name. We have the division which is focusing on digitalization in manufacturing and social and healthcare. What might be unique about us is that we strive for the combination of business approach and technical approach, or applications and tools in one solution. We started with 4 universities, the local and county municipalities. What is essential for us as strategic partners since many years already is that we work with EDIH Fraunhofer Dresden very strongly, and we are also the manufacturing hub for EIT in Hungary. You can see that the Digitalisation Center was established 4 years ago with 4 technological focus areas. And what might be interesting, and this is what will be the focus of my presentation, we provided nearly 60 training courses and 16 R&D projects last year. So if we go to the next chart, you can go, it will have 4 pillars, so it speeds up maybe. So how we started as a Western Hungarian regional digital innovation hub, and then we said that, okay, it's 1 million people, we don't have big universities, we don't have metropolitan cities, so we have to get new knowledge and competencies in our region. So we started to stretch out other universities and also to bring in further companies to our region. And we signed strategic partnerships with the definitely important universities. Then what we did beyond that is we started working cross-border. So in the cross-border area, we are working with Austria very strongly. We are actually in our city 10 kilometers from the Austrian border. And we started working on how we can have a split infrastructure for R&D and how we can specialize cross-border. And altogether, we will have 4 million people. So it's a bigger reach, a better economies of scale, and how we can specialize on those different kind of assets. Then what we also did is we extended not just for the cross-border area, but also for Central Europe. So we are proud partners from Bologna through the Czech Republic to Germany or Poland, which are very important for us to have a better visibility for the stakeholders and also to bring knowledge to them for education. And the final element of how we go geographically larger is the European level, which is essential for us to get to our region the most advanced innovation know-how from the entire continent. So that's the regional perspective. And if you go to the last chart, then you can see how we started working on the access to skills, what was requested by Maite to talk about. So basically we started with the infrastructure, that we have different kind of digital tools. Then we developed applications out of them, and we elaborated 15 to 20 different kind of application courses, both in English and in Hungarian. And then, as I said, last year we provided it on 50 courses, nearly 60, not just in Europe, not just in Hungary, or not just in Western Hungary, but also in Central Europe. And more than 3,000 people participated, both online and offline, depend on the pandemic criteria. What might be also interesting is that with your Austrian partners, we started working on how to have transnational support schemes. So as we apply to the customers as one unit, but in the back it's 5 of us, and we provide a complete service. We provide a complete service portfolio to them. And the final element is that we also do this skills development on Central European level, where we have 4 different kind of opportunities, and where we have thematic learning courses, and we are specializing also on Central European level, either on automated production, on artificial intelligence, and elements like that. So basically that's it from my side. Try to be on time. You are muted.
Light from your presentation, two things. One of them is the use of the Interreg scheme, right? That I think is very relevant also to facilitate cross-border collaboration, which sometimes is maybe easier, right? For starting with this European collaboration. So very interesting that part. Also happy to see, right, that you are also working on that cross-border on skills. Very, very inspiring. You develop also trainings in English that can facilitate that collaboration or joint offer of services. And maybe here a message to the audience that at I4MS we have an observatory where we are compiling all the existing offer on the smart manufacturing these days from the different DIHs in Europe. So you can go there and you can make use of that info, and try to connect with the providers of those trainings. So I think now it's time for us to start with the panel. Okay, I will go back to here and stop sharing my screen. We just have 5 minutes, and I would like to ask to start with a question for maybe Cristina and Balas. When I talk to the candidate EDIH, they are struggling for start operations as a EDIH, and I will explain you why. They do not know really how to pass from the one entity approach to the one-stop shop. Until now, customers might be contacting a competence center, and from now on, we expect them to start contacting the candidate EDIH. So how do you cope with this as an entity? When you receive a request for a service, how do you decide if this service is going to be for the candidate EDIH or is going to be for the competence center? And then how do you move it inside the EDIH? So maybe, Cristina, can you explain this on how this is solved in the BAS DIH?
Yes, sorry, I have a problem with the application, and I don't know if you can see me.
We cannot see you, but we can hear you. So please go ahead.
Okay. Yes. So, in principle, this is the key point in our case. As I have mentioned, we are more than 20 members. In many cases, some of them have similar assets and knowledge and how to address the companies with this idea of one-stop shop has been one of our big struggles during the previous years. The idea is that we have two main points of access. One is direct connection with one of the members of the DHI, which is quite normal because we are a 2 million people region with everybody knows everybody, more or less. So the direct contact is perfect, no problem. The only thing that we are asking the person that receives this direct contact to report to the coordinator of the node and to us at Esprit. And then the coordinator of the node, so we have one person that is this one-stop shop by technology. This person is who distributes the offer of distributes the demand from the SME and discuss with the stakeholders that could give a response to this SME, and between them decide who is giving an offer. Could be more than one, and in this case is the company who can decide who is going to provide the service. At this point, we discuss a lot about the convenience of having more than one response to the company, and we have also contacted other companies, some companies to analyze the idea, and they prefer to have more than one response, because in that case they can choose by proximity, by by previous knowledge, whatever they want. And the thing is that this should be completely transparent for all the members of the node, and that's all. In the case that the company contacts directly Esprit or the coordinator of the node, the one-stop shop, the procedure is exactly the same. The coordinator of the node comments this proposition with the rest of the partners, and they made a decision of which one or which ones will give the response to the company. And in principle, it's working. And we have these 50 examples from last year experience, and it has worked well. It's not easy, but it could work.
Okay, thank you so much, Christina. Froike, I think I will jump into another question, okay? Is that fine with you? Because really time is
Yes.
today. So now again to another challenge, right? And it's where to find the customers and how to evangelize the companies on the need or on the importance of digital transformation, right? For raising their competition. And according to my experience, I think, the right persons, or at least a group of persons we should tackling are the CEOs and the CTOs, right? And with our value proposition. Are you including this in your portfolio of service? Do you have any specific program tailored to these roles in the organizations?
Yes, thank you, Maite, for this question. I think this is very important because it's always very challenging to attract, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises, to do the next steps in the digitalization, especially if they don't have the pain or whether they are interested in digital transformation and new technologies for themselves. Therefore, we have two strategies. Though, first of all, those activities I mentioned before, like the Digital Hub Network and the AI Labs in Baden-Württemberg, try to bring those technologies in the region, and they have the aim to have competences just near to the companies itself and to address the specific demands of the region and to bring on this way digitalization to whole Baden-Württemberg. And secondly, additionally, we build up specific trainings and services for CEOs, for example, in IT security and in artificial intelligence to reach more sovereignty of the CEOs with those technologies and to allow them to do good risk management according to their own business models. So actually, yes, it is very important relying on this question to keep in mind that the single requirements are highly differentiated and heterogeneous. And of course, it is very important to address especially also CEOs and CTOs.
Thank you, Froike. Maybe my next question and the final one on my side before consulting the audience is about another constraint, right, that is concerning all of the candidate EDIH, and it's on the financial sustainability. Balance, how do you foresee this? Is this mainly public, mainly private? How do you intend to make your EDIH sustainable?
Thank you so much for having the most challenging question to me, Marta. Basically, it might depend maybe also country by country. So maybe we have different kind of solutions depend on how our public support schemes are set up. I think just to have long-term sustainability, it must be an equal balance of public funding and private funding. Of course, in the first period, it's more public funding. The challenge is that when we say first period, then it never expires in most of the cases. So I think it's very important that we could say that certain activities should be public funded and certain activities should be a kind of mixture of the two. And maybe if this is what you are or the people from the Commission are pressing, that it might support the viability of the support scheme and not just to make it public funding dependent.
Indeed. Okay, now I will thank you, Balázs. I would like to ask my colleague Lucy, okay, if we have one or two questions from the audience, because we should finalize, but I, of course, want to give you the floor. Lucy?
Yes, hi everyone. There's two very voted questions related to where the grant money comes from to the Basque Hub. So I think Christina already answered in the chat that it comes from the regional government, but since many people are asking, maybe it can be expanded.
I don't know if Christina is there. Otherwise, I would like also to ask Daniel to participate in the debate. Maybe we can first go to the second question that is most voted.
Yes, so it's still related to the funding scheme from the Basque DIH. Is it allowed under the EDIH regulation? And then, yes, if Christina is not here, we can jump to the next one. So this is from Lucia Mazzoni. The most difficult point is to foresee how the exchange of services will take place. Do you have any suggestions concerning this?
Daniel?
Well, I can talk about our experience in EU Has for Data project, for example. It's a big data innovation hub network where we are dealing with the federation of a catalog of services and also data sources. It has been a very hard work in order to make an interoperability and integration of the services. I think the important thing here is to create trust and almost an alliance between DIHs in order to get value from the collaboration and also specialize each of the DIHs in the areas, in the technological areas or sectors where they have critical mass, and relay on the collaboration for the other areas. So this is what we are working now in the definition of these services in collaboration with other DIHs.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, I think it's time for us to close this session. I'm so sorry we cannot answer all your questions. We will find a way, okay, to answer them. We are collecting them, and maybe through the DNet community, we will provide you with answers. Thank you so much to all the panelists. I think your experience is very inspiring for all of us. And to the audience, I hope you find it useful. We help you some way, okay? Otherwise, you still have many sessions tackling all those 4 services and the EU local tension. So please keep connected to the event. And thank you so much, everyone. We leave it here. Bye-bye.
Bye.